Morning, folks. This morning we have a Mercedes injector nozzle that I need to test. I went online. They show the testers and how they're made out of bottle jacks. Another company that was online said they sell them. However, I thought I'd do it myself and, of course, make a video on how to do it. So I went down and bought a Pittsburgh bottle jack for $25, and this video is the how-to of how we're going to modify this jack to make a fuel injector tester. There we go. Cut. Scene one. Well, here we go. I've already taken this thing. This is of course, our wonderful bottle jack. I've already taken it apart and dumped the oil out of it, but I'm going to go ahead and go through the steps of taking it apart again so you can see what we're doing. We're starting off with a 1 5/8" socket. However, if you wanted to, you could use the trusty old pipe wrench to do this. Oh. And here's the pieces we're going to end up with. But we have the piston seal, and then the screw that captures everything. Inside we have the tank. This is the reservoir that holds the oil. And there's the piston. So what we're going to do with this, in order to make this work properly, we're going to take the Acme screw out. I've already taken this thing out too, and this is what I actually used the pipe wrench on. Put the head of this in the vise, use the pipe wrench because it's not going to score up the walls of our piston tube, and remove the Acme screw. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to drill a hole in the bottom of this because our gauge and our fittings are going to be going on top of where the Acme screw came out of. So you could do this, either get you a center punch, mark a hole, do it with a drill, of course not one with a bit that big, and it doesn't have to be anything bigger than a 5/16 hole, and that's what we're going to do with it. I'm going to go drill a hole in that thing right now. Be right back. So we've got the piston chucked up here, and we're going to put a 5/16 hole in there. Oddly enough, this looks like cast material, so even if you go after it with a wood bit, you'd probably be okay. Not sure how deep it's going to have to go to get through to where the Acme thread was. It's coming out like powder though. It's some very soft stuff. Well, there's about 1.5 inches there. And there we go. It was barely 1.5 inches. Let's see if it actually went all the way through here. Yep, I don't know if you can see it, but here, how about this? There we go. Hey! All the way through. Now then, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to weld our fitting to the outside of this piston. And we'll be almost there. This is probably one of the harder steps for the DIY if you want to do it at home, is there is welding involved. I guess I should have said that right up front. I have to weld this onto this. That's what keeps the piston from actually popping out. I have to weld this fitting, which is what the injector nozzle pipe screws onto. The injector nozzle would fit into there. That needs to be welded. This needs to be welded into the top of this. This is where the T and the gauge fit into. So this welds into the top of the where the Acme thread was on the piston for the bottle jack. And to top it all off, on the side of the bottle jack, 4-ton bottle jack, this is the fitting where the diesel fuel is going to go in. So this is what replenishes the whole system, is the jar. Do we have a jar? What do we have? Product placement. Let me hide the name of everything. But this is actually going to hook into the side through a fitting, and then the diesel fuel will go through here to replenish the whole system. Anyway, welding doesn't show up good on the video recorder, so we will show all the pieces, parts, after they are welded back together. Be right back. So, we've got everything welded together. Got that welded onto the piston. So we'll be able to put the T on there. Went ahead and welded the fitting for the injector on there. It looks okay. It's going to fit on there here in a minute. And then we welded this to the cap of the bottle jack for when we screw everything back together. Let's give it a minute. I will. Anyway, we're going to put this all, get it all greased and lubed up, and then we'll reassemble the thing. Oh. Let's see what we got there. What are we looking at? Yeah, we're looking at reassembly. Got that going. Put the piston in. Yep, it looks to be going together. That actually looks to be it. Now all we have to do, mount a container to put diesel fuel in, get some Teflon tape to put on this thing, screw it in, same Teflon tape for our 5,000 PSI gauge. And then it's pretty much going to end up looking just like that. Okay, let's go get some Teflon tape. Okay, I have an injector hooked up, and I would like to say this is the moment of truth, but of course I tried it before I started the camcorder, because who wants to be embarrassed on camera? Anyway, here we go. And there's, oh, if we can see it, that's 1,000. Oh, look, 2,000. Beauty. Okay, thing clicks at 2,000 PSI, and that's what we're looking for. So, it's a Disassembly. Woo! Yep. And that is now a good injector. Just lay it down there in the dirt with everything else. See ya.